Hey guys, it's Jacqueline over here at Homeschool Hangout.xyz, and today we're talking about how to look at all your holiday chaos with an educational eye. Might make you relax a little bit about taking a break from school, or it just may help you be intentional in what you do. If you like these kinds of videos, do me a favor, thumbs up, like, subscribe, find me everywhere, buy me a coffee, check the links down below, all the stuff, and let's go. So, parents seem to stress a bit about doing enough school during the holidays. I, not shockingly, am kind of the complete opposite. Now, if you watch my holiday homeschool traditions and plans, I'll link that actually up there in the eye. But we also just focus on some of the holiday fun. And in reality, that is a very empowering life skill set to give your children. And especially if you have high schoolers, this can go towards their home ec, food, economics classes, all of that. Because I think I've said before, I don't really teach an economics class. It's just a lot of math learning in my life for my children. But they do get the high school credit for it. So let's talk about, because I'm making this before Thanksgiving, this video, let's talk about Thanksgiving. How do you clothe that as being educational? Well, to start with, we have to make a supply list. Now, in our household for the holidays, confession, I have an Excel spreadsheet workbook. Yeah, spreadsheets, all spreadsheets. And I have to, and I have the kids help me think about all the things that needs to be done. This is when we do a lot of our deep cleaning because people are coming over and going to see my house, and the door into the game room that never gets wiped off very well. That's the time that happens. So we kind of have to do a project management plan and a time plan. What has to be done the week of an event? What can be done 2 weeks before the event, 3 weeks before the event, all of that. That is a huge life skill. To be able to take a large project, like get your house ready for 100 people to come in and out in 3 hours, and to break that down to what house prep has to happen. Then we have the food prep. So like for Thanksgiving, for our open house, for all these things, how long does everything take? Do you have all your resources in place? Do you have all your prep in place? And then the day of, how long do things take to cook, and in what order are you going to be doing it? I mean, even though I have 2 ovens, I still only have 2 ovens, and I only have 1 stove, and so many pairs of hands to do it. So all of that comes down in different time frames. And as they get older, they can be responsible for more and more of those things. And when I say responsible, I don't mean doing them. I mean helping you plan it. There's also, of course, the budget. You always have to figure out how much everything's going to cost. I just went and did, I think the rest of my Thanksgiving shopping, except for a big bag of potatoes from Costco. And there's money involved. And there's, factoring of, I can go to this place and get a deal on my turkey, but how is their pricing on their cranberries in comparison to this place over here? I can tell you, I have Walmart delivery, and link in the bottom. It's great. I love it. It's worth the money for me right now. But their cranberries were $1 cheaper a bag than where I got my turkey. I got my turkey for like 37 cents a pound. Great, $8 turkey. But how can I save that money, and how many of those things do you research? All of those things go into time management, go into project planning, go into so many of these different things. And I can say, as an adult who helps plan events both in my home, at my church, with other friends, that isn't always a skill that people naturally have. And I don't believe that, oh, if you don't know how to make a budget for a meal, if that's just not your, fun place, you never have to do it, because you still only have so much money, so much time, so much energy, so much all of that. Then you, of course, have to work on your budgeting when it comes to Christmas presents. And how are they going to get these said Christmas presents? Are you going to take them all to Target and just let them go? Are they ordering on Amazon? If so, how much time do you need to get it? Not to mention the time management of how to wrap the gifts without everyone else in the family seeing them. So these are all logistics. And, let's be clear, logistics is something you put on your resume. Logistics is something that you can get degrees in. So therefore, logistics is something that has a place in your homeschool education. Then we, of course, get to the cooking. Starting in kindergarten and understanding what a half cup is, or how to fold an ingredient in, as I'm just folding. Why do you need bread? What can be frozen and thawed? These are all things that are food science. And when I say food, emphasis science. Understanding gluten structure is great for understanding whether or not you can have bread as somebody who's gluten insensitive, but it also helps you understand how proteins connect, how all these things work. And it's science. It really is science. I have 4 children I've raised, and if you ask every one of them, none of them will tell you when they remember learning how to do fractions, like basic fractions of, half, a whole, a third, a quarter, and having to have that explained to them because they were always involved in my cooking. And, how to eat well, all of those things. Why you don't just sit down and eat, a pound of toffee or whatever. All of these things are academic. One of the nice things, if you're in California, you don't really have to quantify that to anybody, but you can if you're somewhere else. I know lots of people who say, okay, my kids are going to help cook, and that is X amount of hours of school. And I know when I was in high school, they had a food sciences class that I always was jealous that I didn't get to take because nobody in my house really cooked. And so I had to learn how to cook by reading cookbooks. So I would have loved to have taken it. But that's a real class in school, in competitive high schools, in Clovis Unified. These are all school things. And then on top of that, here's the thing that is not tangible, the thing that cannot go down in your transcripts, the time you spend together doing it, and the holiday traditions. Now we're at the point where my 16-year-old's already like, oh, I'm planning on doing all the dipping of the chocolate pretzels this year. And so she's going to figure out how to melt the chocolate in the microwave, what decorations she needs, all these things, and how to budget the time to do it. I mean, it's so great. Do not sell yourself short on really looking at celebrating these holidays and the chaos that comes with the holidays as education. It really is quite valuable in a school way, not just in a family way. So if you have any questions or are struggling with anything in homeschooling, I would love it if you would leave me a comment. And I wish you all happy holidays. Bye.